Good afternoon and welcome to today's assembly. We've got a jam-packed assembly today, full of lots of recognition and celebration, but I'm absolutely delighted to be able to start and invite Jim Whineray-Kelly to speak to us.
Headmaster, staff and students, never miss a chance. This is something that I've heard time and time again from my mum, who's always had an unmatched enthusiasm for starting conversations with new people. She'll introduce herself to the new ice cream lady at the mall, buddy up with dog park regulars, and is always the first to meet new teachers and parents at King's functions. What I think she means when she says never miss a chance is that we should never miss the chance to learn from people. Everybody has a story as complex and as poetic as our own. And that means that everybody has something to teach us. A figure that comes to mind when I think of somebody who I've learned a lot from is my favourite musician, Billy Joel. Now, although I'm yet to have the pleasure of having a conversation with him, he still managed to leave me with a few gems, which I'd like to share with you. So, for my Deputy Head Boy address, I now present to you what we can learn from Billy Joel. Firstly, be good company. Billy sings in his 1980 track, You May Be Right, remember how I found you there, alone in your electric chair. I told you dirty jokes until you smiled. You were lonely for a man, I said take me as I am, you might enjoy some madness for a while. What I take away from this is that when you see your friends being hard on themselves or struggling in some other way, when you find them alone in their electric chairs, make them laugh. We won't always be able to fix other people's problems for them, and that's okay. It isn't reasonable to expect that of yourself. But what we can do is make their tough times that much more bearable by just having a laugh. Secondly, tell her about it. Excuse me for being a bit sentimental. This next gem comes from a song of the same name. The chorus goes, tell her about it, tell her everything you feel, give her every reason to accept that you're for real. The first lesson that you can clearly take from this is that when you have feelings for somebody, let them know. And this little piece of wisdom has led me to have the loveliest girlfriend down the back there. Thanks, Rosie. However, I think that a bigger lesson here applies to a lot more than just romance. You should never pass up on the chance to remind the good people in your life that they are exactly that. Tell them about it. Leave a kind message for your mate. Hug your dad for a little longer than you normally would. Tell your favourite teacher that you appreciate them. Never underestimate the value of a simple thank you. And with that in mind, I'd also like to thank my best friend Will Spong, who's with any luck taking a break from his geo homework to catch this live stream. I love you, mate. Thanks for having my back. Next, remember the good old days, but don't let it take up too much of tomorrow. Billy sings in one of my favourite songs of his, Keeping the Faith. You can get just so much from a good thing. You can linger too long in your dreams. Say goodbye to the oldies but goodies, because the good old days weren't always good, and tomorrow ain't as bad as it seems. The message here is that even when things have been going well, you've still got an obligation to yourself to keep moving forward. Sometimes we can all get a bit too used to the comfort of just remembering our best moments, or getting lost in imagining what could be better, such that we lose the opportunity to grow in ways we can control. Now, to tell you all the truth, I wish my hairline was a bit further forward, but since that's out of my control and we can't all have a head of hair as brilliant as Mr. Payne's, I'll work on some other strengths. Another takeaway from keeping the faith is that tomorrow really isn't as bad as it seems. There'll be times when you're going to be overwhelmed, there'll be times when you will be underprepared, and there may be times when you'll have to sit in the top office and say you've gotten it wrong. But this will never be a life sentence. Always remember through those times, don't count yourself out this early. You're so many things you don't even know yet. And that's from Taylor Jenkins Reid. Next, and this is a really important one, keep the music playing. This one comes from another favourite of mine, Miami 2017. It goes, they held a concert out in Brooklyn to watch the island bridges blow. They turned our power down and drove us underground, but we went right on with the show. An unavoidable part of being social creatures is disagreement. There will always be people who disagree with what you do, and those who think that you should feel ashamed of who you are. But if there is one thing that you can take away from this address, please let it be that no matter who is mocking you or who is getting your way, trust your heart and keep your head held high. There will be people who hear your music is beautiful, and you owe it to them to keep yours playing so that they too can learn to play theirs with pride. Lastly, don't forget to pump the brakes when you need it. This wisdom comes from a song which admittedly I teared up in when I saw it performed at Eden Park. The song is Vienna. Billy sings, "Slow down, you crazy child. Take the phone off the hook and disappear for a while. It's all right, you can afford to lose a day or two." The meaning that I get from this can be summed up in the words of my housemaster, Mr. Putt. Smell the roses, men. You better work hard and you better push yourself, but above all of that, you've got to find the time to enjoy it. Have the strength to prioritize your happiness over the expectations that others have of you. I know that for me, what will make my happiness this year may not be trying to top the class in A2 Maths, sorry sir, but the evenings when I choose to take a break from study and spend time with my family. It will not be getting a badge on my blazer, but leaving it draped over my chair so I can enjoy a walk to the tune of Billy Joel. Thank you all for the opportunity to speak to you today. It's been a great pleasure. And remember, Vienna waits for you. Word Paulette.
Thank you so much for that, Jim. I know Victoria and Ranier have set really high standards in recent weeks with their head girl and head boy address. And Jim's really carried that on and shared some real gems of wisdom from Billy Joel and as well as his own. Just as an aside, and I know many of you will have eclectic tastes in music already, but if you haven't discovered Billy Joel, well worth a listen. I'll be telling Jim a little bit later about my experience of attending a Billy Joel concert back in the day. And as another aside, I assume by brilliant hair, he's referring to the grey highlights that I've added in a vain attempt to look wiser than I am.